Before we get into the 10 most impactful heroes that I built this year, let's talk about the honorable mentions, and we're gonna start off with a very famous hero. This might surprise you that he doesn't make it to the top 10. It's Capri. Yes, he was the star of my previous video, and yes, I did say he's one of the best heroes in the game right now, but because I pulled him about 12 months late, he's not as impactful as he would have been if I had got him from the beginning. Right now, there are so many ways to counter him, like the cape and Omura. He's just not as big as he was. Number 2, also very surprising, it's Arendelle. I recently pulled Arendelle, and he's definitely been really impactful for me in Platinum and Diamond Arena. My greatest value in having him is understanding how he works, because he's so prevalent in the meta right now. That said, I haven't used him for a while. Next here, also probably going to surprise you, and you're going to be like, oh my god, who is your top 10 if this is your honorable mentions? My third honorable mention is going to be Akuma. He certainly was one of the heroes that I wish listed. However, I mostly use him in war, and I feel like if I can use a hero only once in the space of 24 hours, even though he does come out on defense, he's not a hero that I'm constantly going back to and using, because I don't really use him anywhere else. But he is absolutely a fantastic hero. He's done really good 1v4 wars. We're going to talk about a epic hero this time. Yes, it's going to be Clody. Clody is definitely, for me, the best epic hero from the Christmas fusion last year, because she plays so well with other res heroes, giving them a 150 boost when she has immunity. She was really key for me for building a res team in Arena. For a long time, I ran a res team for the raid bosses as well. So she is a fantastic support hero because of the immunity and the spell shield on her. She plays really well with heroes like Helica or another hero that can give immunity to her. So my final one before we get into the main list, another astral hero, it's Scorpius. Scorpius is the fusion astral legendary hero that you can get from the market with your event coins. I really like her. For me, her most lethal aspect is actually her poison. She doesn't hit that hard. Sometimes I sub her in when I can't win, and she makes all of the difference. So absolutely, she is a fantastic hero. She's just not in my top 10. So let's get into the top 10. And this is going to be in chronological order from the beginning of the year until the end of the year, as close as I can remember. So we're going to stay in the Astral Heroes Celeste. And by the way, I'm leaving out a lot of fantastic heroes because I did build more than 60. So this is going to be the best of the best. For me personally, might be really different for a lot of other people. So Celeste is an amazing hero. I remember that when the Astral Scrolls came out, I bought one of the 2 scroll offers thinking I'll use one and I'll save one for the next event. And when the next hero came out, it was Celeste. And a lot of people couldn't pull her because they didn't have scrolls on offer that time. But I used the one that I saved, and I got her right away, so that was pretty cool. She is a fantastic hero because of her ability to both heal and give mana at the same time. I'm using the Guardian Angel relic on her, and actually I'm finding her passive is really cool when she gives a little hit of mana to everyone at the start of her turn. A hero that is absolutely vital for me is the first hero that I wish listed when the wish list system came into place, and it's Brody. You can see my farming videos, my 3 ways to the rifts. Brody is in all of them. He is fantastic. I use him every single day, and for me, that is a wonderful return on investment hero. He doesn't really need books to be effective because his passive is all about his maximum ability special. It does that on its own. Some people have got him wearing the cape, and that's really nice. I've used it in arena as well. Next hero is the second hero that I wishlisted. I was so lucky with my wishlist. I got my wishlist hero on the first go, 3 turns in a row. And I saw people complaining about the wishlist, and I was like, what are you talking about? It's so easy. I've just got 3. It's Elgath. I don't know what to say. He is a really great hero. I've used him on most of my 3 Ways to Rift videos, and he is featured in a lot of my raid boss hits. He hits basically 4 times if you use him under the right conditions. Really great hero. So my third hero is still on the screen. It's Necros, and he was my next wishlist hero right after Elgath. I don't think I need to explain this very much. He blocks resurrection. I've used him all the time in war and in arena. I put hope set on him, and that with the freeze let me kind of selectively crowd control different members of the team. So very pleased with this. Even though I'm always in 2 minds about how to build him, whether I should go for damage or support. And the 5th hero, let's go back to the Astral faction. I think it's quite interesting that of my Astral heroes, 2 legendaries are on my honorable mention, but I've got many epic Astral heroes on my actual list. And I'm going to talk about Uma Umi. I think she was the best Astral epic hero when she was released. I was really upset I didn't get her. I was really upset I didn't get her for like months, for like half a year. Because I saw people putting hope set on her and doing amazing things with her. I was really pleased when I got her finally, and now I have like 3 of her because that is how RNG likes to laugh at you. She's basically the only hero that does significant true damage at the moment. That's a really great mechanic, so I hope that they'll bring in more true damage heroes in the future. My 6th hero is, we're staying in these last 3 factions mainly. My 6th hero, I chased this hero very hard, kind of fell in love with the artwork, with the special ability. I think I didn't get her at first, and then I saw an animation of her special ability, and I was like, fuck that, yes, I'm gonna go for this. It's Omura, and I always say that I love Omura. I changed my username to Omu Bear at one point. She is the astral counter, so she reduces their mana gain based on the amount of defense that she has. So I just built her with extremely high defense, and for me she's a great hero. Even now that they've capped the mana gain reduction, even now that they have the cape relic, I really love her in rifts because of the true chance to land decreased defense. I always had a problem with landing decreased defense on the rift boss before, and now she gets it every single time. It's amazing. I love her. So the next hero, we're going back to the Astral faction, and it's probably a hero that a lot of people associate with me, even though I wasn't the first to build him. It's Sagittarius. I'm actually really inspired by builds that I've seen lying around, and that was the inspiration for my own build. But Sagittarius was an amazing hero for me. I could get to 100% ignore defense on him, and on a bad day he would hit 85k in the first 10 turns. A really amazing hero how he was back then. I don't really have any hope for him now because he now just hits like a 20k, And if you've seen him hit like 85 to 125k before, 20k is shit. So I still have him equipped just because I couldn't bear to unequip him yet, but he sucks now. But he did get me to rank 25 in arena, which I hadn't been for ages. I was using him in events, I was using him in war. Like, he was the guy I could bring and it was a guaranteed win. But I was using him in raid bosses as well. I used him in a team that worked on all raid bosses that I could auto and get general chest in one key. So it was pretty amazing. But that's in the past. The meta changes all the time because of the rules of the game, because of the mechanics, because of the things that they introduce. He was an important hero for like 2 or 3 months of the year, which is a big part of the year, I think, for a hero to just be like your everything hero. Hopefully he'll be a bit better again one day. I want to talk about a good friend of Sagittarius for me, and it's Fire, and she has been effectively nerfed by the same cap on the ignore defense. I don't think she's really good now for dealing direct damage the way she was before. She paired really well with Vermin from level 81 onwards. So you could get to 100% ignore defense before without Vermin, but with Vermin, I was able to put Hope Set on her. So what happened with my arena team was I would one-shot 2 heroes, basically with Sagittarius in the first 2 or 3 turns, and then I would put Hope Set on Fire so she would one-shot other heroes. I basically only built her because I wanted her to run in the arena team with Sagittarius. I was already able to get general chest and so on the raid boss and all that, so I wasn't worried about building her for that. I did actually get her while I was pulling for a different hero, but I would have wishlisted her if I hadn't got her the way I did. So my next hero is hero number 9, so we're getting to the end. This is Mobruk. So I definitely had my doubts about Mobruk when he first came out. I think he was the wishlisted hero when I pulled Fire, actually. So I got them kind of around the same time. But I didn't really put the books on him until late afterwards because I was just hesitant and stingy. Mobruk does amazing damage. I've been using him all the time. He's a great hero. I really recommend him. Completely forgot that he used to be an event hero. And I think it would be cool if they brought back more events like this and then released the hero. So I hope to see that sometime next year. And my 10th hero is a hero that I never expected would make my top 10. It's an astral hero. It's not Capri, it's not Sagittarius, it's not Scorpius, it's an epic hero. It's a hero that everyone pulls and then thinks, holy crap, this is useless. It's Gorgeous. And I admit I was very upset when I pulled him. At one point, I was like, I hate RNG. I will build the heroes that I've got and just cry in a corner. And I built heroes like Shen Shen and other things that I never use anymore. I started building Gorgeous at the same time. I ascended him, I started putting tomes on him, and I equipped him several times, and I was like, this is terrible. He isn't doing anything for me. So I never really finished building him until the very end of the year. I re-equipped him all over again, and I was like, I really want to build an arena team around him. I thought he had some really special passive abilities, so the vampirism and the immune to heal block. I was like, oh, maybe he can do something. And I was like, his damage is not terrible. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. So I was curious. I thought the arena meta is kind of evolving. Maybe let's try something different. And this team got to rank 15 as the highest that I've seen so far. That is the highest that I've ever gotten in arena. Last time I was in Diamond 2, I was at the very end. I was 25. So 15 is definitely a huge, what would you say, like out of the blue, completely unexpected for me. And it's all thanks to this hero. There are so many great heroes that I've talked about, like I say, Capre, Arendelle, Akuma, Clody, Scorpius, those honorable mentions. There's also Mrs. Claus, who I didn't build from scratch this year, so she doesn't make the list, but she would be on the list if I was allowed to cheat. There's so many great heroes that I bring to all sorts of places, but I think a hero that can get you to rank 15 in arena is something special. So that's my top 10 most impactful heroes for 2023. Let me know who were your most impactful heroes this year. Really interested to know if you agree or disagree with any of my choices. And I'll see you next time.